Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome you all once again to our grammar lessons. I hope and pray this lesson finds you all in good shape of faith and health, such that we will be able to absorb whatever we study here. Of course, I'm hopeful that the previous lessons are well understood, so that we can make a comfortable build up. As I say and I always repeat, Nahu is all about building. You are just building a house. So until you finish, you get to a point where you can see that, oh, I now have a comfortable room or a comfortable apartment to stay in. You are not done. Each topic is a chain, it's part of the chain. So you keep locking it up very well till we get to the end. Okay, we go straight to our topic today. Our topic today is Jarrul Ism. I think we've done about Nasb al-Fi'l al-Mudari, and then we've done Raf' al-Fi'l al-Mudari, and then we've done Jazm al-Fi'l al-Mudari. That was about verbs. So for now, we are going to look at Jarrul Ism. We've seen Inna wa akhwatuha, that Inna, when Inna comes, the noun that comes after it takes fatha. So we've seen an effect on nouns to where it can become mansub when inna precedes it. When inna and its sisters precede a noun, the noun takes fatha. Okay, so now we are looking at when a noun will take kasra. That is jarrul ism. When we say jarrul ism, we mean when a noun will be majrur. When a noun will be majrur, which is basically kasra. Basically, when a noun will take kasra. Okay, so we get into it. Al-amthila, examples. Number one, nazala al-mataru min as-sama. So now, as you are reading, you know why you have al-matar with dhamma. You know that, of course, because it's the fa'il marfu', and the alama of its raf'u is dhamma. Say fa'il marfu' وعلامة رفعه الضمة. It is fa'il, it is the doer, and it is nominative. And the sign that shows us that it is nominative is the dhamma that we can see here. So we understand this concept because we've already studied it. And then we have min here, a preposition. And we will take note of two things. This we don't really need it. This is just what we are taking note of is this, and then this kasra here. So it says nazal al-mataru, the rain fell or descended, min, from as-sama'i, from the skies. The rain fell from the skies. Okay, so we see min, a preposition. It is a preposition. We call it harfu jarrin. Harfu jarrin. Okay, and then we have kasra under this noun as-sama. Okay, we have again yati as-samaku, the fish comes from here, min al-bahri. So we'll take note of this kasra too. So every noun that takes kasra, we need to take note of it, because we said our topic is jarrul ism, when a noun will take kasra. So anytime we see a noun that takes kasra, we look at it. Okay, so that is that with min. We've seen nazal al-mataru min as-sama, the rain fell from the skies. Ya'ti samaku min al-bahri, the fish comes from the sea, al-bahr. Okay, now we have sa'a al-jaysh. Sa'a, the word sa'a means to struggle, but in this context it means to march on. So it says sa'a al-jayshu, al-jaysh, the military, the army. Sa'a, they marched, ila al-midani. So here there is supposed to be a kasra. It's not visible in the PDF one, but I'm hopeful, or I'm sure you have the book, so you can see the kasra very well. So we have Sa'al Jaishu ila al-Midan. Midan is a square, any public square, any field. It's called al-Midan. So if you see Independence Square, mostly available in most countries. In Ghana here, I think we have in an independence square. In Arabic, we say Midan al-Tahrir. Say Midan al-Tahrir. In Egypt, I think I've visited the they call it Independence Square, something like that. It's also called Midan al-Tahrir, the Independence Square. So Maidan, I mostly pronounce it Maidan. Maidan, which is a field, is for the military. It says Sa'al Jaishu ila al-Maidan. The military marched to the field. So here it can be the assembly ground. Maidan. My pronunciation before Maidan, the sometimes the street language comes in. You hear them say Midan al-Tahrir. Midan al-Tahrir. Okay. Maidan. Sarat al-Jaishu ila al-Haqli. Sarat al-Mashiyatu. Afwan. Sarat. Sara here, I think we've seen this verb. Sara means to move. That's why we have sayr, movement, and then we have sayyara, the car. It's from this moving. It's from the term moving. So it says Sarat al-Mashiyatu. Mashia is a lady who is walking or a woman walking. Al-Mashi is a walking person. So al-Mashiyatu, the Tau Marbut we have here, makes it feminine. So the lady who is walking, you see somebody walking like that is a lady, so you say al-Mashiyatu. So it says Sarat al-Mashiyatu, the walking lady moved to the Haql. Al-Haql also means field, but mostly farm field. A farm field. You see the Haql mostly referring to that. But any field is Haql. So it also has Kesra here. And we have Ila here. Okay. Number 5 says Yanzilu al-Jundiyu. Al-Jundi is a soldier. Al-Junud, soldiers. Al-Jaish, army. Al-Jundiyu, soldier. Al-Junud, army. Or Al-Junud, soldiers. The plural of Jundi, soldiers. Al-Jaish, army. So it says Yanzilu al-Jundiyu anil Hisan. So we have an and Hisan here should take Kesra here. It's not clear in this print. The soldier descended from the horse. Nazala an. If you hear Nazala an, to go off something, to come off something. Yanzilu al-Jundiyu anil Hisan. The soldier goes off the horse or comes off the horse. Yadhhabu al-khawfu anil tifli. Here too supposed to have a kesra. And then we have an again here. Yadhhabu al-khawfu an. Dhahaba an, to go off. Dhahaba an, to go off. So you say dhahaba anni al-khawf. My fear has left me or has gone away from me. Dhahaba anni al-khawf. Like I'm scared of going to a place and you finally see me there. So you ask, Kaifa wasalta ila hadha al-makan? Then I tell you, Dhahaba anni al-khawf. The fear is gone. Okay. So yadhhabu al-khawfu an al-tifl. The fear is leaving the child. At-tifl is a child. Okay. Sorry. It says Yatfu al-khashabu ala al-ma'i. Al-ma'i. The kasra there. And then we have ala here. Okay. Yatfu is from the verb tafa. Yatfu from the verb tafa. Tafa, to float. Yatfu al-khashabu. Al-khashabu is a wood. Wood. So the wood floats. The wood floats al-ma'i, on the water. Yaskutu al-thamaru. Yaskutu al-thamaru. Al-thamar, this is fatya here. Al-thamar is fruit. When somebody is doing business, and then we say Athamar in terms of business, we mean profit. But when we say athamar generally, we mean fruit. Even in English, the term fruit itself is used for any benefits. The fruits of his hard work. We don't really mean the fruit, apple, and all that, but it's used like that. So athamar in Arabic is also having the same metaphorical usages. So one can say athamar in terms of business to mean profit. Okay, that's why we say athmarat tijaratuhu. Athmarat tijaratuhu. His business has profited. And then we say istithmar. Istithmar. Alif sin ta thin mim ra is from the same word. Istithmar. Investment. Investment. Istithmar. Okay. I can say istithmartu fi azira. I invested in farming. Istithmartu fi zira. I invested in farming. So here يسقط الثمر على الأرض. أرض كسرة على. So the fruits are falling on the floor. The fruits are falling on the floor. Okay. We have ينبخ. ينبخ is from نبخ. نبخ بمعنى to back. Back. B-A-R-K. ينبح الكلب. The dog is backing. في البستان. في a preposition, and then we have al-bustani. Fil bustani. We have dakhala al-mujrimu fi as-sijni. There's a kasra here. As-sijn is prison. Al-mujrim is a culprit or the criminal. So dakhala al-mujrimu, the criminal or the culprit, entered fi sijn, in the prison. He entered the prison. Okay. And then we have قشرت الفاكهة بالسكين. قشرة, the verb قشرة means to peel, to take off a skin. You know, the skin, let's say an orange, its peel, P-E-E-L, its peel is called kishr. The peel is called kishr. So if someone says قشرة, قشرة means to take off the peel. The verb is from the name itself. Qashara, to take off the peel. So it says, Qashartu, I peeled off al-fakihata, the fruit, bisikin, with knife. So basically in Ghana here, I don't know about other countries, but in Ghana here, when you go to the streets, mostly in the evening, you see ladies mostly with their knives peeling off oranges and arranging them for sale. In Ghana here, available in almost every place you go in Ghana here. In the evenings mostly, see a lady with knife peeling off an orange, taking off the skin, and then arranging them for people to come and buy. So that is kasharutu al-fakihata. I peeled off the fruit bisikin. A sikin is knife. In Ghana we have this language, Chi. In our Chi language, we call knife sekai. So I don't know if it is the tree that is taken from Arabic or the Arabic is taken from the tree, or they just happen to be a coincidence. In tree we say sekai, in Arabic we say sikin. You can just see the similarity there. Okay, we have again yataqatalu al-junudu bis-suyuf. Yataqatal, they are fighting. I'll come to this verb. Al-junud, as I said previously, the singular is al-jundiyu, and then the plural we have al-junud, and then the army itself is called jaysh. It says bisuyuf. As-suyuf is sword, saif is sword, sikin is knife. As-suyuf. Okay, we have this beautiful poem here. I've forgotten this guy's name. It's, I think they call him Idris al-Jamma', if that's the name. I think a Sudanese poet also. They said he had a problem and he was taken to a hospital, and he kept looking at the eyes of the nurse, the doctor taking care of him also. He kept looking at her eyes because supposedly it was beautiful and he couldn't take his eyes off. And she felt disturbed. She told somebody, and the person suggested that she wore glasses to cover her eyes. So she found glasses like spectacles and wore it. And when she wore it and she came back to him, he being a poet, he said As-sayfu fi dimdihi. Normally, I'm interested in the vocabulary, not nothing else, so that you're able to pick it. It's good when you're learning Arabic. You try to memorize some two verses of poem. Try to just memorize some poems like that. You always remember your words very well. It says as-sayfu fi gimdihi. This is the Sikh poet speaking. It says as-sayfu fi gimdihi la tukhsha bawatirahu. Some say la tukhsha or la yukhsha madaribahu. A sword in its shield, in its cover, is hating, is not feared. Nobody fears is hating. Like when a sword is in the leather cover, the shield, when it hits, it doesn't cut, so it's not feared. السيف في جمده لا تخشى بواتره أو السيف في جمده لا يخشى مضاربه والسيف عينيك في حالتين بتار. I think something like that. والسيف عينيك في حالتين بتار. And the sword of your eyes, whether naked or covered, like the sword of the doctor's eyes. He's comparing her eyes to a sword, saying that her eyes, even if it's in the sheath or off, or even if she wear a spectacle on it or not, fi halataini bitar. In those two cases, it is still cuttable, it's still sharp, it's still cut. So our word is the as-sayf fi gimdi. As-sayf is the singular, the sword. As-sayf fi gimdihi la tukhsha bawatirahu was-sayf aynayki fi halataini bitar. The plural is suyuf, swords. Yataqatal. Let's talk about this very little. Though we are not doing surf morphology, but we will have to spend some time on that. When you have the verb qatala, it means he killed. Qatala Dawood Jaluta. Dawood killed Jalut. Okay. And then you have taqatala. Let me use the same names just to get us clear. You say taqatala Dawood wa Jalutu. Dawood and Jalut fought. Now taqatala, what is the difference? No, you say qatala Dawood Jaluta. What does this mean? Not killed. He fought. Dawood fought with, struggled with Jalut. Qatala, that is the meter. Qatala, bimana fa'ala. The first one, qatala, is on the meter fa'ala. He did. But fa'ala, it has to be two teams, two parties. Sharaka, they say in its meaning there is musharaka bayna tarfain. Two parties should be involved. Okay, now, what is this taqatala? This one we are seeing here is from taqatala, and they've made the present yataqatalu. Taqatala is the third. We have qatala, qatala, taqatala. So taqatala is on the third rather. Taqatala, what does it mean? Taqatala has to involve a lot of parties, more than two. Qatala is for two parties doing it together. Qatala, one party killed the other. Qatala, two parties are struggling together. Taqatala, more than two are fighting. So that's why it says yataqatalul junudu. The soldiers are fighting. It's a rough game. Bisuyuf, with sword. That is one phase of the meaning of it. Inshallah, when we are doing morphology, you will get to understand all this stuff much better. It says al-ja'izatu lisabiq. Al-ja'iza is the reward. And then we have li here. This is the preposition. Let me see, did I mark this preposition? Oh, we have a preposition here. I didn't mark it. Bi, and then as-suyufi kesra. And then we have bi here, and then as-sikini. So also kesra. I think I marked those up. Okay. Just mark them so that when you just scroll back, you can easily see the effect, how the effect builds. And we have li, and then as-sabiki. Okay, so it says al-ja'izatu lis-sabiki. The reward is for the winner. As-sabik is the winner. The winner of every musabaka, the winner of every competition is called as-sabik. And then we have ishtaraitu kuflan lil-khizana. Kufl is padlock. Qufl, padlock. So I bought a padlock. Li is there. Al-khizana is the, we can call it wardrobe, we can call it safe, where you keep your things. You can call it drawer, but mostly a locker. A locker is what we call a khizana. So he says he bought a padlock for the locker. So he said lil khizanati. Kasra is here. Okay, now let's get into the explanation and then see what's really happening in all the examples we read. He says al-kalimatu al-akhiratu fi jami'i al-amthilati as-sabiqati kulluha asma'un. All the words, all the last words fi jami'i al-amthilati as-sabiqati, in all the previous examples, the examples we just read, all the last words, you can scroll back to, you can just look into your book or go back, reverse the video to see it. All the last words, kulluha asma'un, they are all nouns. Wa kullu ismin, and each noun, minha, among them, masbukun biharfin, is preceded with a harf. So those that I first highlight, the Li family, B family, and all these ones that I highlight, this is what he's talking about. This is the harf. Masbukun biharf that he's talking about, that's what he means. Okay. So he says masbukun biharf is preceded by a harf. ففي الطائفة الأولى تجدها مسبوقة بمن. In the first two examples we saw, we read that ينزل المطر من السماء. Min was used in the examples. وتجدها في الطائفة الثانية مسبوقة بإلى. And you find it, at-ta'ifa means group. At-ta'ifa, in the group. So he says you find it in the second group. It is, the nouns are preceded by ila. In the first group they are preceded by min. In the second you find they preceded by ila. I highlighted it up there. وفي الطائفة الثالثة, and in the third examples, that will be 5 and 6. Example 5 and 6. مسبوقة بأن. It is preceded by an, where it says there is a نزل الجندي, says نزل الجندي عن الحصان. I think that was the example. Can go back. So an was used there. وفي الطائفة الرابعة, and in the fourth examples, that will be 7 and 8. مسبوقة بألا. It is in there we found ala was the harf there. وفي الخامسة مسبوقة بفي, and in the fifth it was preceded by fi. Okay. وفي السادسة, and in the sixth group, مسبوقة بالباء, it was preceded by ba, which is b. وفي السابعة, and in the seventh, that is the last, مسبوقة باللام, that is li. The nouns were preceded by lam, and that is the li I highlighted. You can see it here. للسابق li, and then here قفلا للخزانة, and the b is here al ba. Because they are one harf, ba and lam, their names are written in full, al ba'u and al lam. Not like fi that can be pronounced and min that can be pronounced. This particular thing, to amaze you, is a whole argument among grammarians, senior grammarians. Inshallah, hopefully when we get into Ajrumiya studies, inshallah, we want to take it step by step. Inshallah, when we get to start studying the old text, the pure heritage in grammar, we will come to see the arguments about should they be called al-lam or they should be called b. Should they be called al-ba or they should be called al-lam or they should be called li. There is the argument of fi. Should we say fi or should we say fawiyai? There is the argument there in grammar. Okay. So he says, وَإِذَا تَأَمَّلْنَا آخِرَ كُلِّ وَاحِدٍ مِنْ هَذِهِ الْأَسْمَاءِ. If we should look at the endings of each of the names or the nouns, al-masbuqati bil huruf, that is preceded by the huruf al-mutaqaddima, previous huruf, the min, ila, fi, and all that. Wajadnahu majruran, we find out that the name is majrur, it's taking kasra. Wala sababa lihaza, and there is no reason for this الجر, there is no reason for this كسرة إلا دخول هذه الحروف. There is alif here, I don't know, I think my print, except there is no reason for this kesra coming, because then now we read yanzilu al-jundiyu dhamma, we read yanzilu al-mataru dhamma. Why is it that these nouns are not taking kesra and the ones that have prepositions before them are taking kesra? He says there is no reason for their taking kesra except the introduction, dukhul, except the entry of this huruf, illa dukhul hazihi al-huruf. So the introduction of ila, min and all that, they make the nouns take kesra. Okay, وَمِنْ ajli. So here you read that min is here, is a preposition, ajli is a noun, so it will take kesra. وَمِنْ ajli ذَلِكَ. That is why you can read without vowels. If I see min, I see this, I'll read it with kesra. وَمِنْ ajli ذَلِكَ. And due to that, تُسَمَّى حُرُوف الْجَرْ. They are called huruf al-jar, as I started with. All these prepositions min, ila, fi, li, bi, and all those, they are called huruf al-jar. Okay, let's look at the qaida. What do they do? Al-qaida. They are ruling. يجر الاسم إذا سبقه حرف من حروف الجر الآتية وهي. A noun is made majrur. يجر الاسم. A noun is made majrur إذا سبقه حرف من حروف الجر. If any of the prepositions precede it. Al-huruf al-jar, he says al-atiya wa hiya, the following huruf al-jar, and they are min, ila, an, ala, and then we have fi, we have ba, and then we have alam. So these are what causes a noun to take kasra. There is not the only factor. There is not the only factor. You should know that we are studying A.Y.T.A, which is a very basic book, and also we are in book 1. We are still in book 1 of A.Y.T.A. So these are not everything. You don't, when you start studying, you don't go overhyping with what you study at the beginner's level. You try to take it gradually, build it very well, so that we can add upon it, inshallah, when the time comes. So if you know these preposition causes a noun to take kasra, when I'm going to add the other factors, it will be easier. But if you don't understand this, then it will be a problem. So to understand it very clearly, if there are any questions at all, just send me a mail, contact me, or in the comment section, just put it there, put your question there. We will do well to attend to it for you. Our goal is, again, making Arabic language easier for all of us. It's really easy, inshallah. اللغة العربية سهلة. Some say اللغة العربية says difficult, and I saw a post on Instagram, a picture also, says they cancel the difficult and they put worth it. Arabic language is difficult, they cancel the difficult and they put worth it. It's easy. It's easy. For me, I think it's easy. There are a lot of concepts that gets it interesting. It's like one that loves mathematics. The more it gets easier, the more it gets interesting, kind of adventurous. Okay, so I pray you have a very good Arabic time. Do well to revise very well before any top-up, inshallah. If there are any questions, don't hesitate. Don't forget to also share. If you've not subscribed, do well to subscribe to get notified, inshallah, whenever there is any lesson, inshallah. Okay, have a good time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye-bye.